So you don't know very much music theory, you don't play an instrument, but you still want to write your own music that's in key. Is that possible? It certainly is, and in this video I'm going to show you how, so stay tuned. Hi there guys, and welcome to video number 4 of this series, the 7 key elements of music production. Now today we're going to be talking about music theory, and why not knowing music theory is not a barrier to you making your own music. Now that might sound a little bit odd, but I promise you it's possible. There are a few basics that I'm going to explain over the next few minutes that are going to get you making music that's in key, and you're actually going to understand what making music in key means. So I'm going to tell you how I get by with minimal theory knowledge to write songs that are in key every single time without fail, and how I do so using free resources that are already available to you today. Now the first thing you're going to need to understand is keyboards. Now the notes A to G are always going to be present on a keyboard, but you're always going to start at C just down here. Whether it's a piano or a MIDI keyboard, they all start at the note C. Now the black notes on a keyboard are named depending on which direction you come at them from. So if you come at them from the right, then they're a flat of the note that you just passed, and if you come up at them from the left, then they're a sharp of the note that you just came past. Now let me demonstrate that for you. Coming from the left, this note here will be a sharp of the note that we just passed, which is C, so it's C sharp. But coming from the right, it will be a flat of the note that we passed, so it's a D flat. So this note can either be a C sharp or a D flat. This note can either be a D sharp or an E flat. This note can either be an F sharp or a G flat. I think you get the idea. Now here are some very simplified definitions to help you understand what you're actually going to be achieving by writing in key. And it's definitely advisable to go on and learn music theory in a bit more depth if it's something that you're going to get into and start pursuing, but as I say, this should be enough for you to get started. Now a key is a set of notes that musically go well together, and you should always write songs that are in a key. A scale is a set of rules for what notes are in a certain key and how far apart they are. The root note is the note on which the scale starts, and an octave is a set of 8 notes from C all the way back up to B and then starting at C again. Now let's break down the key of C major as an example. So the key is C major, the scale is the major scale, and that determines how far apart the notes on the keyboard are in this scale, and C is the root note. That's where the scale will start on the instrument, whether it's a piano or a guitar, whatever it is. This is what the C major scale looks like. As we can see, it starts at C, and the major scale determines that these are the gaps between the notes. Now if we look at the F sharp minor scale, which is this scale just here, F sharp is the root note, minor is the scale type, which determines how far apart these notes are, and if we were to write a song in F sharp minor, then these are the notes that we would use for melodies, for bass lines and bits like that. Now we've already seen 2 examples in major and minor scales. Now these are the most common scales that are used in music. A major scale is typically happy sounding and a minor scale is typically darker sounding. And pop music tends to use major scales because they're more upbeat and happy and a little bit more radio ready, whereas sad songs or darker music like electronic music and house music more commonly use minor scales. Now I definitely recommend playing around with some scales, looking up which scales are common in your genre, and experiment and see what you like producing with. Now to write songs in key, I don't use any mystical tools that are going to be unavailable to anyone. I simply use Google. I pick a key and then I Google what notes and chords are in that key, and I make a little note of them. What I then do is play around with those notes on a piano till I find a bass line that I like or till I find a melody that I like, and I put it in using MIDI. Now this theory can also apply to other instruments like guitars. Anything that you're going to be writing music on, you can apply this theory knowledge to, and it makes it impossible to write something that's out of key. Now it would be much quicker to know scales off by heart, and I'd recommend that if you're taking this up properly, then you should definitely do that and take the time to learn music theory, because it's going to make writing much quicker and it's good to have an appreciation for music theory if you're going to be devoting a bit of time for it, but this is a really simple way to get started. Now I hope this video has helped you understand that you don't need to know music theory in a traditional sense to be able to make your own music. Now I'd love to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. Now if you're looking to really start learning music production, then I'd recommend getting a friend involved. It's a really good way to stay motivated, stay on track, and have someone to learn with. So if that sounds good, then you can share this video with them with the share button on mobile or desktop, ping it over to them with a little message along with it as well. And if it's your first time here at the Audio Journey, then I'd love to have you subscribe so that you can stay in the loop about what we're doing to help you learn music production from the ground up. Now thank you for spending a bit of time with me today. I can't wait to see you in the next video, which is all about samplers and how they're used in music. So I'll see you there.